I used 5 AI prompts to rank over 200 local businesses #1 on Google Maps. Most agency owners waste 10 hours or more per client doing manual SEO work, which means you can't scale without burning out. So in this video, you're going to get the exact 5 copy and paste prompts that built my 7-figure agency and helped hundreds of freelancers rank clients faster while working half the hours. And if you stick around, I'm going to show you a bonus prompt that catches the mistakes that silently kills your rankings. The quality control step 90% of agencies skip. Now to start, I'm going to show you the first prompt that builds the foundation every local business needs to rank. So the first prompt we're going to talk about is the GBP Categories and Service Generator. This is a multi-step process that sets up the foundation for everything else we're about to do. So here's why this matters. When I audit local businesses, over 60% of them have exactly one category on their Google business profile, just one. And maybe they've listed 3 or 4 services, if we're lucky. But Google lets you add up to 10 categories, and you should be listing 20 or 30 services. When you only have one category and a handful of services, you're telling Google you do one thing. Your competitor, who has 5 categories and 30 services, they're telling Google they're a comprehensive authority in that space. Let me give you a real example. I had a plumber in Plano who came to me. He'd been stuck at position 17 for months. So the first thing I checked, 1 category, 3 services listed. So he added 3 secondary categories and 32 more services. Within a week, he jumped to position 12. This is the same business, the same reviews, the same website. We just told Google what he actually did in this plumbing space. So here's how you do this. First, install a Chrome extension called GMB Everywhere. Pull up your top 3 competitors, and you'll instantly see every category and every service they're using. Select one of the categories, and GMB Everywhere will tell you how many GVPs are currently using that category and the most common secondary categories they're also using. A great way to choose the most relevant categories for your GVP is to see what other competitors are doing. So now we're going to use AI to fill in these gaps and find opportunities that your competitors might have missed. So once you have your categories, we're going to move to step 2 and generate the services. Now here's where most people mess up. They have 30 services, they have 40 categories, but no idea which services go under which category. You need this organized correctly because Google's algorithm looks at the relationship between your categories and services to determine relevance for search queries. So we're going to use another prompt to sort everything based on how Google's algorithm sees the semantic connections. This prompt is a little bit longer, but I'm still going to show it on screen. Go ahead, pause it so you can grab it, or join my school community. There's a link in the description that'll have my prompt and the full prompt library of all the other ones featured on my YouTube channel. You'll also receive access to an SEO community with 3,000 people ready to answer your questions, and even a monthly Q&A with me. So after you run this categorization prompt, log into the Google Business Profile and configure your categories and services. This whole process of making sure your categories and services are correct is going to take you maybe 30 minutes. But here's what you need to understand. Every category and service that you just added, those need to become pages on your website. You can't just list them on the GBP and call it done. Google needs to see that your website matches what your GBP says you do. That's where our next prompt comes in. This is the prompt that creates your foundation pages, your homepage and your category pages. And this is where you start building the connection between your GBP and the website that Google is looking for. And here's why this matters. Google needs to connect your business entity with your service entity and your category entities. If your GBP says you're a plumber offering drain cleaning, but your website never mentions drain cleaning, Google doesn't understand the connection. The algorithm can't confirm that you actually provide that service. But when everything on your GBP matches what's on your website, the same categories, the same services, the same location, Google sees a verified entity. Now that verification directly impacts your GBP ranking. If your website doesn't back up what your GBP claims, you're not going to be ranking in the top 3. And here's what most local businesses get wrong. I analyzed 100 local business websites a couple months ago. Do you want to know the most common homepage title tag? Home. Just the word home. Over 60% had the word home or just their business name. No category, no city, nothing. Home is the default for a lot of website builders out there, and so many local businesses didn't bother to update the default. Now keep in mind that your homepage title tag is, no exaggerating, the most important words on your site to inform Google of what you want to rank for. So they're all telling Google that they want to rank for the word home. Now, when you fix this one thing, you're already ahead of 60% of your competitors. I had a plumber in Bozeman, Montana. His title tag was the word welcome. We changed it so that it included Plumber Bozeman, and within 2 weeks, he went from position 7 to position 3. Same website, same concept. And yeah, okay, it was Bozeman, not Houston. Houston's going to need more than just the right title tag, but in small markets, this alone can move you into the top 3. So this next prompt creates your homepage content optimized for your primary category plus city name. You're going to run this same prompt multiple times with different inputs. Once for the homepage, targeting your primary category, and then once for each of your secondary categories. So if you have 5 categories, you're going to run this 5 times. That will be 1 primary category and 4 secondary. After you generate the content, read through it. Please don't post AI-generated content on your website without even reading it. AI is going to get you 80 to 90% of the way there, but you still need to add the final 10 to 20%. Fix any weird phrasing, add actual client stories, make it sound like a human wrote it. This takes maybe 10 minutes per page. Then you can copy-paste it into your website builder. Make sure the title tag matches the format, category plus city plus additional context. Make sure your H1 matches your title tag. Doesn't have to be the same words, but it needs to include category plus city, and make sure you're linking from your homepage to each category page. Both versions of this prompt are in the school community with the exact format I use and examples of the outputs. Go ahead and grab them there. But we're not yet done, because now you have 5 category pages, but you have 20 or 30 services. Each one of those services needs its own page. And this is where we scale from 5 pages to 25 in a single afternoon. You have your homepage, you have your category pages. Now we need a dedicated page for every single service on your GBP. If you listed 20 services, you're going to create 20 pages. This is what separates businesses that rank from businesses that don't. And now here's why this works. When someone searches water heater repair Kansas City, Google is looking for pages that match that exact search. If you have a generic plumbing services page, you're competing against businesses with dedicated water heater repair pages. You're going to lose that every single time. That plumber in Plano, I mentioned them earlier, we got them from 17 to position 12 just by adding categories and services to the GBP. He's getting some calls, but not very many. Position 4 and worse is invisible. So we use this prompt to create 20 more service pages in one weekend. He had 33, but we created 20. Each page targeted a specific service plus the city name. Within another week, he jumped from position 12 to position 2.35. Here's his rank map. He made $50,000 in the first month just from the increased call volume of being ranked in the top 3. And here's the thing, it's the same prompt structure you just used for the homepage and categories. The only difference are the inputs. Instead of targeting plumber Plano, you're now targeting water heater repair Plano, water heater replacement Plano, drain cleaning Plano, or whatever the specific service is. Here's that prompt. Now you're going to run this prompt at least 20 times, once for every service on your GBP. Every prompt is going to take about 2 minutes to set up and run. AI generates the content in another minute or so, and you're going to spend 15 minutes editing it. That's about 20 minutes per page. For 20 pages, you're looking at about 5 hours total to create a website structure that's going to put you ahead of 95% of the local businesses in your market. After you generate all of these service pages, make sure each page has a title tag that includes the service plus city name. Make sure you're linking from the relevant category page to each service page. So your plumbing contractor category page should link to all the plumbing services that live underneath that category on your GBP. This creates what we call a content silo. Google sees that your website is comprehensively covering every aspect of your business. It sees the topical relevance. It sees the geographical relevance. That's what moves you up the map pack. As with the other ones, you can find that prompt in my school community, link in the description. Now, here's the catch. You have 25 pages of shiny new content, all optimized, all structured correctly, all with the correct internal linking. But Google doesn't trust it yet. Google needs to see that other websites, especially other local websites, are vouching for your business. And if you don't get this next step right, everything you just built is going to cap out around position 7. So let me show you how to fix that. This is the final step that separates position 7 from position 1 or 2. And most agencies completely skip it because they don't understand how Google's trust algorithm works. And here's what's going on. You can have perfect GBP optimization, 25 pages of perfect content, everything structured correctly, but without external links, without external votes of trust, Google cats you. You won't rank in the top 3 unless you're playing in a tiny market. I've seen this happen dozens of times. That plumber in Plano, we got him to position 12 with categories and services. Now he stayed stuck there for a little bit until we added the local links. Then that's what jumped him to position 2.35. Same, everything else, just added the external validation that Google needs. Google's map algorithm is based on 3 things: proximity, relevance, and authority. Now, we can't do anything about proximity. Relevance is already handled by the content you just generated. And authority, that's just a fancy way of saying links. Without external validation from local websites, Google sees your 25 pages as a low trust content and won't rank you in the top 3. I'm going to show you a prompt that we use almost every day. It finds every link opportunity in your local city in less than 5 minutes. Now, when you run this prompt, you're going to receive a massive list of possible links categorized by type: chambers of commerce, local sponsorship, business directories, local media, schools, government sites. It prioritizes them based on authority and effort required. Start with your local chamber of commerce. Join it. That's the first thing you should do, and it's usually one of the most powerful links you can source for a local business. Then start looking for sponsorship opportunities, youth sports teams, local charities, community events. These cost money, but they're well worth it. For that plumber in Plano, we got around 5 local links for about $1,000 total. We joined 2 chambers of commerce. You don't need to limit yourself to just one. Did a youth softball team sponsorship and a couple of local events. 5 links. That's all it took to get them from position 12 to position 2 once we had the content developed. After you secure those quality local links, wait a few weeks. Google needs time to crawl those links and update your rankings, but once it does, you're going to see movement. Now at this point, in this process, you have everything set up to rank. Categories, services, content, external links. You're probably in the top 5 if you're following along, unless you're in like Houston or New York City or something. You might even be in the top 3, but here's what keeps you there: consistent activity on your GBP. Because if Google sees your GBP go silent, your rankings usually start slipping. So here's what most businesses do. They're going to post once when they remember, maybe twice a month if they're really motivated. Then 3 months go by, rankings start dropping, and they have no idea why. Google wants to see regular activity on your GBP. Businesses that post weekly rank higher than businesses that don't. It really is just that simple. But honestly, posting every week is a pain. You have to come up with ideas, write the content, find images, schedule it. Most business owners honestly just don't do it because they forget and it's just too much work. So instead, automate it. I'm going to show you a single prompt that will generate 52 posts, an entire year of content with weekly posts in a couple of minutes. Schedule them all at once using a GBP management tool. LeadSnap is the one that we use at my agency, and then set them to repeat annually, and you're done. You have content forever, GBP posts once a week, forever. Now, when you run this prompt, it's going to generate 4 types of posts: promotional, educational, engagement, and seasonal. They're distributed evenly across the year, so you're not hitting people with sales pitches every single week. Some posts offer tips, some showcase customer stories, some tie into holidays or other local events. So after you generate the 52 posts, read through them. Again, we don't post things that AI wrote without reading it. Please, everyone, stop posting things that AI wrote without reading it. Okay. Add specific business details, adjust the tone if you need to, and use a GBP management tool like LeadSnap or another one, or just do it manually to post once a week. And that's it. You just automated at least a year of GBP activity in under an hour. Now here's a situation you're going to run into. You get a new client, or maybe it's you, and they already have a website with dozens of pages, maybe hundreds. Now, they don't want to rebuild everything from scratch. They just want to know what's missing, what needs to be fixed, and what can be repurposed. That's exactly what this diagnostic prompt does. It takes their existing site, crawls it with Screaming Frog, that's a technical SEO tool, and cross-checks it against their GBP categories and services. Then it tells you exactly what gaps exist. Say you have a plumber that already has 80 pages of content. You're going to run this prompt and it's going to tell you that they're missing dedicated pages for 8 of their GBP services, but 10 of their GBP services, there's existing content, they just need to update the title tag or H1 tag. Maybe it's the water heater installation page that exists, but the title tag doesn't include the city name. 3 category pages aren't linking to their service pages. Google won't be able to crawl those connections if you don't have the internal links. So instead of guessing what to create or rebuild, this will give you a prioritized list. Fix these title tags, fix these internal links, create missing pages that it identifies, and you'll save yourself weeks of auditing and give the client a very clear roadmap on your path forward. So this prompt takes your Screaming Frog data, like I mentioned, it's a technical SEO tool that crawls any website and analyzes against the GBP categories and services. It's going to find most of the gaps, missing pages, wrong title tags, broken links, services that aren't mentioned on category pages, everything. But remember, AI tends to hallucinate and lie and make things up. So yet again, make sure you double check it. To run this prompt, you're going to need to download Screaming Frog. It's free for websites under 500 URLs. Run the crawl, export the links all CSV and the internal all CSV, give that data along with the GBP categories and services, and run. The AI will give you the bulleted list of what's missing or broken. It'll take you 5 minutes, but save you hours of manual auditing. We run this at my agency on every single new client before we do any work. It gives us a great idea of what needs to be created, what needs to be fixed, and what's already working. You can also run it quarterly on existing clients to catch existing problems before they hurt rankings. Now, this one prompt has saved me more time in client audits than most any other tool. Instead of manually checking, you get the complete analysis in 5 minutes and you're ready to start double checking it. Now, all 6 of these prompts, the 5 main ones I gave you, plus that bonus prompt, are in my school community. The link is in the description below. I've also included a guide for setting up Screaming Frog and how to run that prompt with video walkthroughs showing you exactly what to do and how to double check the outputs. So that complete system from GBP optimization all the way to service pages and ongoing maintenance. Everything you need to rank in the top 3 and generate consistent leads. Now, you can follow this entire system perfectly and still tank your rankings if you're stuck listening to traditional SEO advice. Most of what you've been taught about SEO is outdated, wrong, or actively hurts your results. So in this next video, I'm going to expose everything you think you know about SEO that's actually killing your rankings.